Hi everybody, I'm Hal Weeks. Welcome to Stalking the Wild Auto Harp. And today we're going to clear up some of the mystery around 1, 4, and 5. Your three most important numbers in auto harp playing. What does 1, 4, and 5 mean? And why am I so confused about them? 1, 4, and 5 is all you need to play most melodies on the auto harp. But what do those numbers mean and why are they 1, 4, and 5? So I'm going to get into showing you that graphically with a staff layout and a keyboard layout so that you can understand that a little bit better. Because when we work with the auto harp, we don't have any way of seeing the music visually. There's no reference. We do a lot of things by touch. 1, 4, and 5 refer to chords. And those chords change depending on the key we're in, but the numbers don't. That can be kind of confusing. So I want to show you some of that on the whiteboard. So here we go. Look out. It's the dreaded dry erase board once again. And in the interest of really becoming fully functional musicians, we're going to talk about and come to understand the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord today. All right? And we're going to use key of C like we always do in talking about these and realizing that you can build this on any scale. But the C scale, which is the white notes, is why we're going to use it today. And the C scale, of course, is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right? And if we write that out on the staff, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And I'll write it up again here too. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Our 7-letter alphabet of all things musical. Now you remember the old formula, every good boy does fine. See, every good boy, and then this would be D, the next one up from C, F, C, F, A, C, E, face on the lines. Now, again, I'm not going to teach you how to read music here. That's not what this is about. This is about the 1, the 4, and the 5. And as I taught you in another video just recently, when we're talking about the individual notes, we use Arabic numerals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. All right? So 1, 4, and 5. Now, we can build a chord starting on each one of these with the 1 at the bottom of the chord. In which case, on the 1 chord, we're going to use this note, and this note. 1, 3, and 5. If we use the build one on the F or the 4, it's going to use this note, and this note. F, A, C. If we build one on the G or the 5, it's going to be G, B, and D. So let's write that out. And I'm going to use, I'll use a blue marker for the other notes in the chord. All right, so we've got E and G. Okay, this is no longer correctly called C It's C major. Okay? Now we're going to build this one, just like I showed you. This is now no longer correctly called F. It's F major, because it's now a chord. All three notes are struck at the same time. So we'll write, and we're going to make this one be G major. Okay, and we no longer correctly call this a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. What did I do that's wrong? See if you watched the other video. I gave them Arabic numerals. Wrong. That's for this, for the individual notes. When they were just the little black notes, they were individual notes, they would have gotten Arabic numerals. But now, this is a whole aggregate or chord that is called after its root note, but it is now a chord. Therefore, the number is a Roman numeral to show that it's a harmony we're talking about. 1, 4, and 5. So now we're talking about chords of 3 that are built upon these numbers on the bottom, and they're named after the note on the bottom: C major, F major, G major. And if you look, first of all the other chords that we would build on these root notes would be minor. These 3 would be minor. This one would actually be diminished. And we're not going to talk about diminished chords in this class because we don't have them on our auto harps, although they have a fascinating theory behind them. And diminished sevenths, some auto harps do, and I'll be talking about those in a different auto harp video, but not in this one, because a standard auto harp doesn't have them, okay? But we do have the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords. C major, F major, G major. Now, if we had started with a different note to build our scale, say a G scale, we would have gone up like this, but then we would have had to hit a black note. Okay, so we would have had an F sharp in our scale, and our 1 chord would be here, our 5 chord would be here, and our 4 chord would be here. The 1 chord is not always C. Sometimes C is the 4 chord. Sometimes C is the 5 chord. It just depends on what key you're in and what scale you're using. But if the key is C and this is the scale you're using, then C is the 1. And the 1 chord is C major. The 4 note is F. The 4 chord is F major. And so it's the Roman numeral 4. And 5, G. G, the chord is a major chord, so it's a Roman numeral. Now, one more thing I want to show you, and this is why these are so important, especially in our melody playing. When we're playing a melody that's based on these notes, all of these notes, these black notes, are represented in these 3 chords. Let's do it. The C note is here. It's also here in F. The D is here in G. Okay? The E is in the C chord. The F is in the F chord. Okay? It's also in G7 because when you have a 7th, you add it another note up here, which is F. Then we have G, which is in the G chord. It's also in the C chord. And so you could use either one of those chords to play your G note in playing a melody. The A is in the F chord. The B is in the G chord, right there. And the C again is in the C chord and the F chord. So these three chords, these three buttons on our harp for the key of C will cover all of the scale degrees. And so to play a melody in the key of C, it's as simple as shifting between C, F, and G, or G7, in order to have all of these notes, which is all you need for a lot of basic folk melodies. I hope this clears up 1, 4, and 5 for you. So there you have it. There's a little bit of an explanation of 1, 4, and 5 in the key of C. Now understand that when you shift to another key, say you go up from C to D, then your major chords change. Your 1 chord is now D. Your 4 chord is now G. And your 5 chord is now A. But if you're like most people, it's just a matter of moving your hand over on your harp, and you've still got those chords, the 1, the 4, and the 5, under the same fingers that you did before. So it's easy to change keys and not think about it, which is why sometimes we get confused when we do think about it, because we're not used to doing that and thinking about it as far as thinking about what notes we're actually playing. So, if you are benefiting from my videos and I'm helping you understand a little bit better or helping you play a little bit better, I am so happy that I'm able to do that. And I hope that you'll consider going over to Patreon and becoming a patron of this series. The link is in the comments in this video. Also, I teach lessons via Skype. The link is in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share this video. And I'll be back next week with another Stalking the Wild Auto Harp. Bye-bye.